Ever wondered how those mystical old-timers discovered the Force? Was it in a How to Train Your Midi-Chlorians guide? Join us as we hilariously attempt to uncover everything we know about the first Jedi. Because, hey, it's not like they kept a detailed vlog diary, right? What's the deal with their code of honor? In Star Wars lore, the Jedi loom large as galactic guardians, sage-like warrior monks who wield awe-inspiring abilities in defense of peace and justice. From young Anakin's hero worship of them, to Luke seeing Ben Kenobi as his only hope, the Jedi seem bathed in mythical nobility. They capture imaginations as perfect heroes, brandishing shining lightsabers against chaotic evil. Yet this surface image masks deeper complexity and contradiction. When examining forgotten history instead of popular myths about the Jedi, obvious discrepancies emerge, revealing uncomfortable truths. Beyond propaganda glorifying them lies institutional hypocrisy that may have seeded disaster. How can real change emerge without confronting inconvenient facts hidden beneath legend? The Prime Jedi. Archetype of balance or strategic mythmaking. According to Jedi archives, the Order arose from modest origins, founded by an idealized icon called the Prime Jedi on the symbolic date of Unity Day. This obscure father figure sits enshrined in the Coruscant Temple, depicted in an ancient style balancing light and dark in profound meditation, personifying the highest aspirations of Jedi wisdom. But does this origin story accurately portray events or deliberately spin history to bolster authority? The Prime Jedi seems more mythical archetype than actual person, conveniently embodying the perfect sage to legitimize Jedi power. Whether factual account or engineered myth, the mosaic symbolism suggests the earliest Jedi cultivated balance between extremes of the Force instead of the moral dualism dividing good light from bad, dark evident later. They seemingly recognized all aspects of the Force as natural, rather than partitioning elements labeled undesirable. If both sides of the Force represent essential halves of a whole, why do groups like the Jedi and Sith insist on choosing one over the other instead of integrating both? First came the dissident Jedi, whose heretical beliefs founded the Sith Order, traceable to around 7000 BBI. His anarchist perspectives on unrestrained Force use led to swift exile. Yet why exile a dissenter unless his counterculture ideas seemed dangerously persuasive? Ironically, the Jedi rejected him for bucking limitations they impose upon connection with the Force. Their established control structure faced no tangible threat from the exile of one wayward Jedi. But indirectly, his radical ideas could undermine their ideological monopoly if they spread. So the newly branded criminal faced immediate castigation to prevent conceptual contagion. Next arose the Ordo Aspectu, a fringed sect of mystics roughly aligned with Jedi spirituality, until the Order declared them forbidden. As with the exiled Jedi outcast into the Sith lineage, the Ordo Aspectu suffered extreme prejudice for the heresy of peaceful deviation from Jedi norms. Finally came the tragedy of Darth Nihilus and the planet Malachor V around 4,000 years before the Skywalker saga. Nihilus seems clearly victimized by the Jedi before eventually turning to the dark side. By refusing to integrate contrasting perspectives, did the Jedi undermine the diversity and resilience of their own order? Does intense identification with any belief system blind people to their own contradictions? Sheltering fragile doctrine from respectful critique leaves it vulnerable, fragile, and insecure. Those who question power should not face punishment, but rather care and guidance. Exclusion breeds bitterness that returns for vengeance. As wars against various foes raged over centuries, the monastic Jedi transformed into an increasingly militant religious state, serving an imperial-like republic. Many Jedi came to relish their lethal might, developing devastating weapons technology to inflict suffering upon designated enemies. This bloodlust contradicted mystical serenity. Once seekers of contemplation and harmony with the Force, they molded themselves into decisive soldiers of cosmic destiny. They punished divergence from Jedi scripture through any means necessary to sustain dominance, torture, assassination, and even genocide, all in the name of orthodoxy. How do you interpret the difference between defense and aggression? Can militancy ever create enduring peace? Groups who claim divine sanctions for violence often twist narratives of past conflicts to reinforce that authority. Without detached evidence, self-serving rhetoric alone rarely conveys full truth. Such brazen contradictions between Jedi ideals and actual deeds cannot be smoothly varnished over like the prequel trilogy attempts in melodramatic fashion. That film narrative dresses Jedi figures in spotless virtue as they march stalwartly toward their doom. But beneath superficial theatrics persists shocking hypocrisy gnawing at the Order's credibility. Their virgin image seems more engineered myth than reliable record. Does intense identification with any belief system blind people to their own contradictions? When any group maintains that their knowledge is exclusive and absolute, demonizing all other perspectives as intrinsically invalid or evil, they reveal intense clinging, not maturity or wisdom. Their brittle, insecure doctrine that requires violent methods as it tolerates no dissent. But these are always doomed to fail from inner instability. For the Jedi teachings to align with their highest principles of empathy, understanding, and impartial justice, the corrupted failings of the past cannot be denied, but must transform into guidance for the future. As guardians of peace, their core moral values prohibited aggression except under extreme duress. Yet the evidence suggests the Order frequently abandoned ethics and wisdom. Only through accountability by facing difficult history can they establish credibility for any potential redemption. Do you think the Jedi can restore credibility in the aftermath of catastrophe? Should the Order endure or completely reform? Any Jedi survivors carrying wisdom of essential virtues might regenerate themselves by applying principles systematically: equality, integrity, respect for all life. But the structures enabling hypocrisy must dissolve for teachings to manifest authentically. For the Jedi to become more than mythic window dressing, they desperately need comprehensive reappraisal highlighting chronic failings that crush their Order from within. Any substantive reemergence must courageously reconcile their grandiose PR image with the intense religious suppression conducted in their highest name. Otherwise, the dysfunctional patterns that accelerated their downfall will inevitably repeat. The way forward stands not through excusing past crimes as anomalies, but seeing them as symptoms of pathological imbalance needing conscious correction. In symbolism, the Prime Jedi mosaic offers key guidance. The light and dark sides stand unified in balance, not warring for dominance. Both complement as integral aspects of the dynamic whole. The reboot Jedi might embody this holism by honoring contrasting views with compassion while strengthening presence through self-mastery disciplines. They must abandon fundamentalism that projects evil upon dissenting voices or competing force traditions. Otherwise, the Order repeats cycles of calamity sealed by its own fear and pride. Only by illuminating inconvenient histories can transformational healing occur. The emotionally intense process of confronting unethical acts might enable the last Jedi to embody timeless virtues free of limiting ideology. What luminous destiny might such liberation reveal? The living force offers itself in each moment for our co-creation. And there you have it, folks. The tangled web of Jedi history unraveled, well, sort of. Don't miss out on future adventures in the Star Wars universe. Hit that subscribe button faster than you can say. May the Force be with you. Thanks for tuning in, fellow Jedi enthusiasts. Until next time, goodbye.